Some time ago, we had a visitor in our church, and as we usually do, I connected with this person the following week, and I sent this person a message. I'd like to share with you this dialogue I had here. We have this is my messenger. And then I sent him a message. I don't know if this is so small here, but I'll read. Hello, it's Clinton, pastor here at First Free. It was nice to meet you yesterday. Jaime told me you are interested in knowing the Christian faith and the Bible. If you want, I can set up a weekly time to chat with you about these topics, discuss your doubts, and help you to understand these topics better. This is a usual message. And then the answer was, Hi Clinton, thank you for reaching out. It was a pleasure meeting you on Sunday. I am enjoying my time so far on Sundays, learning the Bible and what Christianity has to offer. Since my work schedule is uncertain this time, I cannot commit to a set schedule. However, once I have more of a concrete schedule, I will certainly entertain the offer. One thing got my attention in this message, and this was this part where he says, what Christianity has to offer. I was thinking about that. How people think about Christianity. What Christianity has to offer to me. And I think that this is what we have today with most people. They want God. They like Jesus, but definitely they don't want to be a radical, a fanatic. It seems that we want something that doesn't demand so much from us. We want something to feel good. We need some help, comfort, peace. And many people approach Christianity with this mindset. What can I get out of it? We usually have a wish list. This is what I have. A perfect fit for me mindset. This is what J.I. Packer mentioned in this book, A Hot Tub Religion. By the way, this is a very good book. If you can reach out, this is a great reading. A Hot Tub Religion. And he says in this book the following. When modern Western man turns to religion, what he wants is total tickling relaxation, the sense of being at once soothed, supported, and effortlessly invigorated. In short, hot tub religion. He asks for it, and up folk jump to provide it. Today, it seems that this is a trend. The comfort zone Christianity. No challenging, no confrontation, no character change, no moral demands, no risks, unknowns, embarrassments, no theological mysteries, no questions without answers, no effort, no sacrifices, no deep, invasive relationships, no personal surrender, mutual submission, no radical commitment. This is what we see today. This is a trend. People want this kind of Christianity. This is the mindset we have today. We can summarize that with this expression: high expectations with low engagement. We want a lot, but we offer a little. This is what we have today. When people look for a church today, usually it's this they have in mind. But my question here today is it possible to meet God and embrace Christian faith without leaving the comfort zone? Is it possible? This is a question. There is a comfort zone when we approach religion, Christian faith. And this is the question: is it possible to really experience God without leaving the comfort zone? There's a famous quote from C.S. Lewis, Pastor Jaime's friend, and he says, if you want a religion to make you feel really comfortable, I certainly don't recommend Christianity. We'll discuss on that. And then, our text today to introduce this idea of leaving the comfort zone is just one verse. One verse that we'll discuss today. The Gospel of Mark, chapter 8, verse 34. It's a very known verse in the Bible. Words of Jesus. And this text marks a transition, a turning point in the Gospel of Mark. Because until this point, Jesus is performing miracles, healing people, casting out demons, making wonderful things. But then there's a time, verse 31, just before that, Jesus starts saying, he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and the chief priests and the scribes and be killed. And after 3 days, rise again. So you see this transition, and he began to teach them. This is a transition, a turning point. And then, verse 34, he says, let's read this together. If anyone, okay, together, 1, 2, 3. If anyone could come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Again. If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. We don't like this verse. We don't like. I agree with you. This is not a very smooth and relaxation, a hot tub text in the Bible. I know, I recognize that. Jesus is talking here about discipleship. Follow me. Jesus is talking here about the basic condition for discipleship. If anyone would come after me, would be my disciple, then pay attention to that. Let him deny himself and take up his cross. A cross today is a decoration object. Maybe you have a cross in your, what's the name of this? Necklace. Yeah? Or you have in your home a beautiful cross. But back in this time, a cross was nothing like that. A cross was a very cruel, brutal symbol. Because that time, a cross meant death. Some people understand this text, take up his cross in a very simplistic way. And I need to say, for example, the cross is not your mother-in-law, Barreto. Okay, Barreto? The cross is not Martha. Yeah. The cross is not a very difficult situation you face in your life and a problem, a trial. No, this is not the cross. Jesus is talking about something different here. Jesus is talking here about death. There is a book, very interesting, that I strongly recommend called Uncomfortable. Brett McCracken, he wrote this book, Uncomfortable, The Awkward and Essential Challenge of Christian Community. It's a very interesting book. You can buy it. And in this book, when McCracken talks about this verse, he mentions that there are many different kinds of deaths that we should face in our discipleship. He mentions at least 5, and I'd like to share with you these 5 that Brett McCracken mentions here in this book. He talks about 5 deaths, losses, when we approach this theme of discipleship. And he says that the first one is the loss of being your boss. Leaving the comfort zone means giving up control. This is the first thing. Because at the cross, we are being led. We don't have control of the situation. We are killed at the cross. So we are not the boss when we carry up our cross. And this is important to say because for many, religion or Christianity is an add-on. A good thing as long it doesn't interfere too much in my life. We can think, for example, about the ways we manage our time. We think that a good Christian is the one who separates a time for God. So you have your agenda, and then if you are a devoted person, you separate every day a time to God. You separate Sunday morning to be with your church. This is the mindset. But the problem with that is that in this case, you are still in control. It's your agenda. And you separate a time for God. Hey, God, let's make a deal. An hour a day, and I will be a very good Christian. But what if Jesus is waiting something different? What if your agenda, your time, is not yours anymore? What if your life is now belonging to God? And then, it's not the case that you separate a time to God in your life, in your agenda. The question maybe is not how much time God has in my agenda. But the question is, how much time in God's agenda? This is a very difficult construction here, but the point I think you understood, the agenda is God's. And we are in God's agenda. It's different. Because we need to understand that coming to Christ means giving up control. It happens, for example, with our offerings. We think that if we give 10%, then we are good. And doesn't matter what I do with my 90%. But what if 100% is God's? And then He allows you to use 90% for yourself and for the kingdom, but it's yours. You are a manager. So think about that, the loss of being your boss. We, as here, and I say, thinking about me, as a man, I like to have the control. Yeah. When you are watching TV, usually the control is in your hand, man. We like to decide. We like to say, this is the way, that is the way. We like to lead. But we can misunderstand the concept of leading with the concept of being the boss. Brett McCracken says, the cross kills the me-centric bent of I-Christianity, which bends the Bible to support one's views and treats God as little more than a cosmic Siri to bless and comfort on demand. We need to resist the idolatry of autonomy and the folly of personal preference Christianity. This is something to think about, right? Take up your cross means to give up control. This is the first death we face. This is the first step in stepping out our comfort zone to connect with God. And then there's the second. Brett McCracken says, the loss of consumer religion. Leaving the comfort zone means giving up a consumerist mindset. Disciples seek learning, growth. Consumers seek satisfaction. Disciples go to church to offer something, to serve. Consumers go to church to receive something, as spectators to watch performances. But if Jesus is the Lord, this means that I'm not the Lord. So my preference is not the main factor in this case. We need to experience this loss, the loss of consumer religion. And I think about this question, what is a good church? A church with excellent, good programs, great performers, or a church with great opportunities to serve. So, this mindset should die. There is this quote from Adam McHugh. We must put away our convenient notions of God, the one who always agrees with us, the one who always favors our nation or political agenda, the one who feeds us candy and never vegetables. I don't like vegetables. Definitely. I don't like vegetables. I leave them to Mauricio, to André Serpa, to Daniel, okay? but I don't like vegetables.
You don't make friends with salad.
Yes, this is a good quote. It's true. But the point is that more than friends, we should make disciples, not friends, right? And this is the case. We make disciples with vegetables, not friends. It's important. It's a good one, Mauricio. Thank you for your wisdom. So, the loss of consumer religion is the second death. The third death, he says, the loss of pride. Leaving the comfort zone means giving up self-affirmation. Today, it's very, very common that we have some cliche quotes. They are like standards for our society. For example, be who you want to be. Every Disney movie or kids movie, you see this. Follow your dreams. Find yourself. It's interesting that today people seek for affirmation. But what Jesus says in this text, to be my disciple, deny yourself. What if I go to church not to be affirmed, but to be denied? I would say many preachers do this. I'm not doing this, just an example. Say to your brother, you are nothing. This is what Jesus is saying. Your desires, your dreams, your ambitions, all of these, your pride, what you are, these need to die. Today, people think that pride is a very important thing. You need to feed this pride. There is the pride parades. And the problem is that usually we deny others, but we forget to deny ourselves. We are specialists in say, hey, you are nothing. Hey, you are wrong. Hey, you should die to yourself. But we forget to say this same thing to us. We say this to LGBT community. Hey, deny yourself. If you want affirmation, don't come here. But are we saying this to ourselves? Or just them? Because this is not for them only. This is for us too. So the loss of pride. This is the third death Jesus is talking here. Deny yourself. And then there are the fourth. And here we go to the implications of these first three deaths. The loss of power, coolness, and cultural respectability. Leaving the comfort zone means giving up the idolatry of social reputation and status. Today, we approach Christianity with that mindset I mentioned at the beginning. What Christianity has to offer. How Christianity will help me grow personally. But if you went to the first century, this was not the case. In that time, the answer is not what Christianity has to offer. No, the question is, what am I willing to lose by following Jesus? So the loss of power, it doesn't mean that you will lose cultural respectability, your reputation. No, could be not. But you should be willing to. And here and there, God can kill your pride and push or pull you out of your comfort zone, making this. Fifth, and the last one for our discussions, the loss of health, wealth, and comfort. Leaving the comfort zone means giving up the American dream. In Luke chapter 9, I'd like to finish here with this passage. Luke chapter 9, verse 57, we read, as they were going along the road, someone said to him, I will follow you wherever you go. And Jesus said to him, foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. Think about that. When you approach Christianity, what are you looking for? Personal development? To be a better person? To have more opportunities in your life? It's something bigger. Christianity is a cross. And a cross means death. There is no resurrection without the cross. If you want to be resurrected, to be a new person, you need first to be willing to go to the cross. Without these 5 losses, these 5 deaths, we won't experience the real power of Jesus. So, when we think about leaving our comfort zone to connect with God, we are thinking about this verse. Let's go again. If anyone, all together, let's go again. If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. So this is a challenge for us today. It's a first word. It's a very simple one. It's simple to understand, but very difficult to put in practice. Every time we are in family, we are having our discussions. We are dealing with our kids. We are thinking about that very nice thing to buy, or we are thinking about whatever. We should think about this first. Are we willing to deny ourselves? When we are fighting each other in our home and these sometimes very uncomfortable situations when we disagree, then we should remember, hey, Jesus said, deny yourself and take up your cross. Am I denying myself, or am I trying to prove that I'm right? We should remember that in our relationships. In the church, when we see things that we don't agree or things that are not our personal preferences. In everything, in our jobs, sometimes we are there and we are offended, we suffer many kinds of pressures. Am I thinking about this? Because discipleship doesn't happen only Sunday mornings from 10:30 to noon. No, discipleship is every day. Discipleship is where we are. School, work, church, family, home, every place. We are being forged to be disciples. So, am I denying myself? So, we have 3 questions here for our discussion now. They are very sharp, okay? Very sharp. And what is the idea? We will have groups of 3, 4, 5 people max. 5 people max. And then we'll discuss these 3 questions here. The first one, C.S. Lewis once said, if you want a religion to make you feel really comfortable, I certainly don't recommend Christianity. What does it mean? Do you agree with this statement? Why? So discuss a little bit about this statement. And then the second one, what are some ways God pushes us out of our comfort zones to have a deeper relationship with Him? Can you identify some ways that God pushes us out of our comfort zones? And third, what are the challenges that represent the uncomfortable, unknown, unsafe, and uncontrolled in your life? Maybe you can share these areas, these challenges in your life, because maybe it's there that God is leading you, okay? It's there that God is leading you to deny yourself and to take up your cross. So let's discuss this. We have 15 minutes for that. 15, maybe 5 minutes per question, and then Mauricio will come and we'll have a feedback here, 2 or 3 groups, and then we'll finish now. Have a beautiful day, okay?